What I would say is that a government that is elected by a popular mandate to replace another government which has been in power for 61 years faces massive challenges. So there are very few modern precedents, and the subject that we have is institutional reforms. So let's look at the reform of the institutions that one is considering after 61 years. So if you look at the three major branches of government, the executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branch, all those three branches require massive reform. And then if I just pick four random, the civil service, the EC, the media, and the academia. So just random. So if one looks at those 7 institutions, you know the problems they face. You live here, you know what they are. So I start off by saying that the theme for this afternoon's discussion is a contradiction in terms. It is absolutely impossible to do that kind of reforms in 100 days. You've got to be far more realistic. The problems are just massive. So I would say, luckily, the manifesto is a political document. It has no legal significance. It has no significance at all in anything. I am surprised at the double standards. I have been following elections for must be at least the last 6 or 7 elections, and I cannot remember. So let me just take an election from May 69. I was a student in school. So from May 69, the 69th election till now, so that's about 7 or 8 elections prior to the 14th elections, I cannot remember anybody being concerned about the manifesto. I'm sorry. And now, suddenly it's elevated to a holy book, higher than the federal constitution. So, I mean, which world are we living in? So, I cannot understand the obsession about the manifesto. At the end, as some of you said, at the end of the day, the mandate is for 5 years or a shorter period when the Prime Minister advises the Yagong to dissolve Parliament. So it could be 4 or 5 years. And that is when the people of the country, the electorate, have a chance to test and to vote. So until then, there should be no discussion about period. So that's the first point I would make. Insofar as reform is concerned, I mean, the 3 branches of government, first, the executive branch, the judicial branch, and the legislative branch require massive reform, and it will take a long time, as I said before. The civil service, 1.5 million, and they've only served one political master all their life. So to expect them to understand the concept of serving the government of the day is just not possible. They just do not understand what serving the government of the day means in everyday life. And that will take 4, 5, 10 years for them to be educated, from the most senior civil servant to the most junior, 1.5. So unless they understand the concept and what does it mean to serve the government of the day, and the government of the day are trustees for the people who voted. So all of these people are just temporary occupants of office. I am a temporary occupant. I've got 1 year, 9 months left of that office. It's very temporary. So it must be educating people. So the answer I would end by saying is massive reform. Please do not put your expectations too high. And when you come to vote in 5 years' time, then you decide whether the report card is such that they deserve your vote. If they do not deserve your vote, you vote against them. But it's far too early. Thank you.